Okay, hi everyone. My name is Andrea. I'm 44 years old, and I have my beautiful daughter Tiana right there, who's
Hi.
14, and I have chronic Lyme disease. So I just wanted to tell a bit about my story. I've been chronically ill for 5 years. At first, they thought I had everything from stomach cancer. I think I've had every blood test under the sun. Thought I had stomach cancer, bladder cancer, leukemia, brain tumor, brain aneurysm, MS, lupus, diabetes, heart problems, lung problems. I was anemic for a year. Something kept taking all my iron and vitamin D and B12 and C and calcium. And my hormones were all over the place. At first they thought I was just maybe working too hard. I went to bed one night feeling totally healthy, and I've always been active in my life, and then the next day I couldn't get out of bed, couldn't lift my head off the pillow. I thought I had a really bad flu, or I wasn't sure what was going on, but I knew it was something serious. And then I went to the doctor. He's like, "You're working too hard, you're a full-time single mom with your daughter, cut your hours down." So I did. They cut down 3/4. I was in sales and makeup and stuff. Then half, quarter, nothing. My symptoms kept getting worse. I was developing all these cysts, and I had to have a stomach operation. I was going to a gynecologist and a neurologist, a rheumatologist who diagnosed me with soft tissue rheumatism, endocrinologist, and my neurologist actually thought I had MS for 2 years. I had all the MS symptoms, lupus symptoms. I went to the MS clinic, the lupus clinic, and I actually had a hematologist who was monitoring my blood, and I had to go for iron infusions, every month for a year just to get my iron back up. I was having seizures, and then they said I had epilepsy, and then finally, after 5 years of going through horrible illness, which we knew was really bad, but everyone kept saying, "We don't know what you have. We've run all the tests on everything, and it keeps coming back negative or borderline." The only thing they had was soft tissue rheumatism, anemia. I think that's about all I really got diagnosed with. Stupid things like Raynaud's syndrome, psoriasis, all these weird food allergies. I went to an allergist, an immunologist. Um, I I actually went on an elimination diet, which helped a little bit. Then an endocrinologist and gynecologist and everything else. And over the years, no one actually mentioned Lyme disease. And 3 years in, we were in the hospital. Of course, I was having some severe pain. I think it was heart pain. They thought I had heart problems and angina. And I went to a heart specialist too and a lung specialist too, because I got um, old granulomatous disease, old granulomatous disease on my right lung, and it's where you have tons of calcium deposits. And then I was getting bronchitis, major sinus infections, infection after infection after infection every 3 months. My immune system was so low. And I started getting allergic to drugs and having seizures after morphine in the hospital. But 3 years in, this doctor came in and he said, sorry, 3 years in, this doctor came in and he said, "Have you ever been tested for Lyme disease?" And we're like, "Lyme
I'm
disease?"
so sorry. I have
It's okay.
horrible skills. Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, wait,
So
where are you?
it
Okay.
said 3 years. He came in and he's like, "Have you ever been tested for Lyme disease? It looks like you have Lyme disease." And I'm like, me and my daughter were like, "What the heck is that?" And he said it really quietly, so we went and kind of looked through it, and I had like 100 symptoms at the time, and I was being shifted to doctor, specialist to specialist, 20 different doctors, and nobody could really figure it out, even the top specialist guys. So I had all the symptoms, so we kind of kept it in mind, although Lyme disease was not really recognized in British Columbia, um, and nobody really was willing to discuss Lyme disease. I had brought it up a few times, and doctors got angry and said we could go on and on and on about Lyme spayed all over the place, but other doctors are like, you don't have Lyme disease. Lyme disease does not exist in Canada. Do you remember a big tick on you or anything, or bullseye rash? Well, I didn't have the tick. Like, I didn't actually see a huge tick on me. So, um, that was kind of like, they're like, you don't have Lyme disease. One guy just told me to drop Lyme disease completely. He's like, he came in the hospital room, and I had just had, like, sorry about my voice. I'm in treatment right now. We just had,
Keep going that way.
oh, okay. It's okay. We just had I had some heart problems, and he came in and he's like, don't mention Lyme disease anymore, drop Lyme disease. And he kind of clenched his fist and his face went red, and he was the head of emergency, and I was like, oh my God. And every time I mentioned it, it just got buffed off that there's no Lyme disease in Canada. So in our minds, we wanted to rule out MS and lupus, and then they thought I had Parkinson's, and they thought I had Guillain-Barré syndrome, myasthenia gravis, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome. I mean, the list was endless and goes on and on and on. And then eventually, I went to the MS clinic after going through everything in the lupus clinic, and they said, you don't have MS, you have all the MS symptoms, so I'm called MS symptomatic or MS mimicker, which Lyme disease mimics, I think it's something like crazy, like 400 illnesses, and actually it has over 100 symptoms, which I have. So when we went there, she said, oh, you have chronic fatigue syndrome, but you don't have MS. You have no lesions on your brain. I know Lyme can give you lesions too. But I had an MRI in 2010. It came up clear. She felt it was pretty good and recent. So I was like, okay, chronic fatigue syndrome, what's that? She goes, that's post-viral or post-bacteria that you came down with, and eventually it just wore the hell out of you, basically. So I was left with that. We were left with that, and then bacteria. Here comes infectious disease doctor, the one doctor I haven't seen. And we had gone to some Lyme disease seminar, and we'd gone to, sorry, my daughter's just, I don't know.
It's not my
Why
fault.
are you laughing? The camera or something?
I'm horrible.
No, you're doing good.
Look at this.
Okay.
They're giving me a cramp.
Oh, okay. We went to a Lyme disease seminar in Tsawwassen, and we met this really, I won't mention any names of any doctors that have helped us or tried us. No, I can't, because
I know.
they could get in trouble, and it's a real fragile kind of situation. But when we went to the seminar, we met this amazing doctor. He was amazing, right?
Yeah, he was.
And he tried over 3,000 Lyme patients. So he clinically diagnosed me, and we're like, oh, we should get the blood work done. The one in Canada sucks. So go to the States, but then it's like it costs $1,200 for all the blood tests. So we did fundraisers to raise the money to get the blood work done in California. I changed the lab. Yeah, and what happened was, most of the time it doesn't show up, but when we went, it said past infection, present infection for Burgdorferi, which is the Lyme disease, which is from the tick, came up positive for past and present, and like majorly positive in, like, 11 different sections in past, 11 different bands in present, and that was really freaky because we weren't really expecting that. So I'm severely chronic, I'm severely a case of classic Lyme disease, which is called chronic Lyme disease. So finally, yay, we have an answer after almost 5 years. And then came treatment, which is a whole nother video, which I'll be doing because I'm on the second day of treatment right now, herxing really bad for 2 days, and the frickin' those meds make me so sick, and I'll tell you all about what to expect when you're on Lyme treatment, and it's really, really horrible. But anyway, I just wanted to tell her story, give awareness to everybody out there what Lyme disease is. It is caused from a tick bite, and you don't always see the tick. I never did. I mean, I got a rash a while after, like I got sick. It was the beginning of October 2008, and I think in 2009 I actually got this huge rash on my right leg, and we just thought I had mosquito bites. We're like, oh, it's a huge mosquito bite, and then we're like, well, I don't know, it's like really big, and it wouldn't go away in like 3 weeks. And we thought it was a spider bite, and that's all we really thought. And actually, that was the bullseye rash, but it's not like humongous like they show in the pictures where it's like absolutely massive, like an orange. I mean, that's just a bunch of crap. It can be really small, about the size of a plum, and you know, you get the rash. You're cramping up. You're cracking me up. I'm on medication right now, and I'm totally stoned, so you're cracking me up. My head, honey, my head. Okay, so
Sorry.
it's okay. I got one the size of a plum, and it didn't go away in 3 weeks. But anyways, I'm assuming that, you know, after, when I fell chronically ill, then I got sick. The rash came out after, which in many cases can happen, right, Tiana?
Right.
And you can get streaky rashes, and I got them all. But anyways, bottom line is,
It's
to
3:30.
raise, it's late, and to raise awareness about Lyme disease and what Lyme disease is and how you get it. And I just want to say it is a spirochete. It's the cousin of syphilis, and it embeds in your soft tissues, in your muscles, your tendons, your heart, your brain, your blood, and your organs. And it just attacks everything, and it actually can change form and create a biofilm around it. It's kind of like a cancer cell, how it changes, and it. Honey, where's my face? There we go. Okay. So it can create a biofilm around it, and it can create a biofilm around it, and it can like hide, and they can hide behind your heart and your brain. So even when you have antibiotics and it's trying to kill them all, and then they get mad and release toxins and gases and get really sick, they recreate every 28 days, and so it's really hard to get rid of them. Yes, there is chronic Lyme disease. Yes, there is chronic Lyme disease in BC. There is infected ticks. I am living proof of it. We are living proof of it. And it can hide behind your brain and your heart and everything. So they're very sneaky, and they can change and go into cysts and biofilms and gather. So I just want to give a bit of kind of education about Lyme disease and what it is and how it affects you and how it's not accepted in the Canadian medical system. It gives you tons of neurological issues and heart problems, kidney problems. I mean, you name it, I've got it. I won't go into all my symptoms because there's over 100 symptoms, and it's not a fun disease, and it needs to be treated. If you leave Lyme disease untreated, like I've almost been sick for 5 years, it can be fatal, and it's not advised. Obviously, you have to get treatment right away. So treatment is a totally different issue, and I'll be doing another video on how we actually got treatment, because it took a really, really long time. I was diagnosed July 17th, 2013. I didn't even get treatment till what, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
And we're now August 2nd. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, that's all I want to say for now, and thanks for watching, and if you want, you can subscribe to me or ask questions, or feel free to comment or anything below. I'm totally new at this. This is my first YouTube video for Lyme disease, and hopefully our camera's not really good, so our quality's not really good, and same with the sound, so hopefully it'll sound and look good, or okay. And anybody who has Lyme disease, feel free to message me or comment or ask questions or anything. Okay, thanks very much, and have a good night. Bye. Oh, do you want to say anything? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just sorry about the low D camera again, even though it's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
To the video. But yeah, just if you want to talk to my mom, then message her on here.
Yeah.
Talk to her about Lyme or whatever. So yeah.
And you've learned a lot.
And I've learned a lot. I swear I could be a doctor.
I could be a doctor too. It's amazing what we've learned.
Yeah, it is. And sorry for my skills again, cause like I was getting a cramp in my arm.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.